Alright ladies, what's up? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and I am coming to you from the art school, some art school in New York City. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm making a video about a question that I get asked very often by a lot of angry people, and that's, did you consider dating a game? Why do you teach so many people games? Why are you teaching women to think that dating is a game? You know, this is the thing, is that it is a game. Life is a game. You see, something you gotta realize is that when you deny the fact that dating is a game, you know what tends to happen? You tend to try to take the advice of just be yourself. Now, mind you, when someone tells you be yourself and you say, you know what, I'm gonna be myself, guess what? That's a fucking strategy. You're implementing a strategy of being yourself. And for the most part, when you try to be yourself, hey, what's up? When you try to be yourself, you're usually not being yourself because you're trying to be something that you're not. When you're trying to be, that means you're trying to step out of who you are and try to be who you think you are. It's all a game. Even when you try and not play the game, it's a way of playing indirectly. That's called reverse supplication. You see, and so I get a lot of comments of women telling me, you know, you shouldn't be teaching this. This is fucked up. You teach manipulation. Let me ask you this. What's manipulation? What's manipulation? Tell me that. What do you think manipulation is? Actually, let's Google. All right, my phone is back there, right? But but seriously, manipulation is all about manipulating how things go. You see what I'm saying? Or like influencing where things are going. It's not forcing. It's more manipulation. It's using a high level of influence. Pretty much that's what it is. Influence. In everyday life, we try to influence. We try to influence children. We try to influence the economy. We try to influence our life. We try to manipulate things to get to how we want it to be. The problem is that when people feel powerless, when people feel like they cannot control their lives, they resent life. They resent the game of life. And so that's why when people say, why are you guys teaching tactics? Why you got to teach this? It's because in their lives, it hasn't worked. But when you know how life is, when you know that there is a certain strategy going about things, rather than complaining, rather than being the victim, you become a player of the game. Now, what you choose to do with the strategies is up to you. You can either have benevolent intentions or malevolent intentions. What people choose to do with quantum physics, they can either choose to empower the world or choose to completely destroy the world. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong to teach it. But it means that you have the choice. Is it good or is it not good? Also, think about this. Dating is the biggest game that everyone plays. You know, you dress up to look nice, right? Right? You dress up nice, you wear certain clothes, you buy certain clothes, you try to give off a certain impression, you try to hide certain aspects of yourself, and you try to promote certain aspects of yourself. It's all a game. You're playing a game. When you're not playing the games, when you're home and you're taking a shit, that's when you're not playing the game. And guess what? You will not do that in front of a guy you just met because you know he's gonna lose attraction. So guess what? So that means you are playing the game, but the problem is that you're playing inefficiently. You've been used to playing the game how you play it, and so you think you're not playing it, but you really are. You just suck at it. And so when I present to you tactics that are a little dark, and I tell you guys, look, this shit is dark. This shit is not nice. Have good intentions. When I present women with these tactics, they get angry. Men get angry too. And the reason why they get angry is because it's disturbing to think that people can easily be influenced if you know exactly what you're doing. But guess what? That's why nations fall. The whole existence of humanity has been filled with manipulation. And the problem is that only the bad ones choose to congregate amongst each other and try to manipulate a whole nation. Only the bad ones. And that's the problem, that people with good intentions, they don't want to do that. People with good intentions, they don't want to manipulate people. But when you know that the bad people are playing that game, you got to arm yourself with the right offensive arsenal. You have to arm yourself. The best offense is the best defense. And so, yeah, I teach people, I do think dating is a game. I do think this is all a game because when you want to know fucking why, because when you die, it'll show you that all this meant shit. It didn't mean anything. When you fucking die, and you think back on your dating life, you'll say, holy shit, it was all meaningless. It was all a game. Games are meaningless. You think the problem is that when you don't see it as a game, you know what happens? Your sense of self becomes attached to the outcome. It becomes more serious. It's not fun anymore. It's not enjoyable anymore because your sense of self is attached to the outcome. And that's why you gotta treat it as a game. You gotta laugh at it. You gotta smile at it. Guys don't mind being manipulated as long as you know what you're doing. As long as you have good intentions, they don't mind. So if you are disturbed by it, that means that you don't understand the nature, which is, as long as you have good intentions, play the game right. Do what you gotta do. But guess what? There are gonna be people with bad intentions. That's not your responsibility. Focus on what you're doing. And I'll be honest with you, it frustrates me. When I could easily lie to you guys. I'm like, I don't care when people don't. I don't care when people, get mad at what I teach, because I do teach, dark shit. I know that. I know I teach dark shit. But it does frustrate me that people are failing to understand the purpose of my message. It frustrates me, and I've learned how to deal with it. I learned how to accept the fact that some people are just gonna think the way they think. So it frustrates me because they fail to realize that I'm trying to allow you guys to use these tactics. Go ahead, try to manipulate, try to get the guy, get him to fall in love. But guess what? When you get him to fall in love and he becomes obsessed with you and you notice it doesn't make you happy, you know what you're gonna go back to? You're gonna come back to the mindfulness shit that I teach. The being present, the self-awareness, being able to let go of the outcome. And that's why I present to you guys the two extremes. I present to you guys the extreme of manipulation, of coercion. I'll show you what the dark side is, but I also teach you guys the most powerful tactic you can learn, and that's being able to let go. That's being able to increase your level of self-awareness. And so yeah, it's fucked up. But learn to play the game, motherfucker. Learn to play the game. Because you also manipulate. You manipulate your children. You lie to your children. You tell them, I'm a perfect parent. You tell them, don't do that when you did that. You tell them not to smoke weed when you smoked it, right? You try to give them that look of like, you better behave, in order to intimidate them. It's all a fucking game. You're playing a game. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Stop being benevolent. Stop trying to act like you're saying like your shit don't stink. Well, you know that. But it's cool, though. It's cool. Because you have good intentions behind that. They are good intentions. And I understand. But if you keep taking dating too seriously, it means that you have an outcome that surpasses being with someone. It means that you want to be happy. It means that you're trying to look for happiness through other people's reactions. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that. And that's fine. But when you don't find the happiness, come back to the shit that I teach. Come back to when I talk about spirituality, when I talk about mindfulness, when I talk about self-awareness, when I talk about observing your pain, come back to that, because that's what I want you to come back to. There's very few channels out there that doesn't cater to you. That doesn't cater to your femininity. That doesn't tell you you're perfect. Ooh, hey there, cutie. Hey there, right? That doesn't tell you that you're perfect. That doesn't mind being a little fucked up sometimes. Because you're trying to, put on an impression, make sure I don't have my hat on, make sure to, button up my shirt. No, fuck that. That's not human. There's too many fake people out there. Everyone plays a game. Everyone's trying to vie for power. Every single fucking person. Oh shit, there's this kid coming. But you gotta play the game right, man. You have to play the game right, because if you don't, you're gonna get played. As long as you have good intentions and you use these tactics of instilling pain, then right on. Dude, that's how human nature works. People will go back to someone who inflicts pain because they took away their sense of self. And so in order to regain their sense of self, they're going to go back to them. So why not learn to do that? And on top of it, you have good intentions. You're actually there to empower him. You're just afraid that someone's going to use that on you. You're just afraid that I'm putting out in the world the dark shit that causes people to become obsessed with people. And guess what? That don't fucking matter. Because even though if people do fall in pain, if people still suffered, that suffering will take them and will motivate them to actually try to find happiness. And inevitably, if